What's going on, everybody? Jordan here on another episode for the Digital Marketing School, and in this episode we're continuing on with the email automation series, and Ted just got done wrapping up list segmentation, tagging. So basically just understanding that it's super important for you guys to tag your contacts, segment them into lists so you can make your content more personalized and you get a better result. So, like he mentioned in the previous example with the grocery store, the vegan versus the meat eater, you don't want to offend anybody, or you don't want to promote or even waste time creating content and sending it to people who aren't going to engage with it. And that's why segmenting is so important. Also, just to know things like, again, Facebook, knowing that they came from that platform is important. It lets you know which social media platforms are actually working out the best for you. So just a quick refresher right there. But in this video, we're going to talk about creating actual email content. So the content that goes inside the emails that's going to be engaging, and how to write the actual email. So it's not really, specific to the types of content you're going to provide, because there's all kinds of niches. I couldn't help you create the content, but I will show you how to kind of put the content into the email, to make it a valuable email and get open rates. We get open rates at about 30 to 55% with a lot of the campaigns that I run. So, that's the thing, guys. You guys can do this too. You just have to follow these steps and we'll make sure we get you in the right direction. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the screen share here, and we'll run through these PowerPoints, and then I'm actually going to go into ActiveCampaign and show you kind of how we build ours. So, email template intro. Basically, an email template or creating email content is a reusable email that you can use for your email campaigns or automations. We will be discussing how to create a good email and how to create a template in ActiveCampaign. Basically, just understanding how to write a good email is the difference between converting and not converting users. All right, so pay attention. So just again, it's important if you're sending emails, but and even if you're sending emails and they're opening those emails, but people are only sitting in them for 2 seconds, or they're not clicking any of the valuable links that you're providing inside of the email, it's not going to be super useful for them. So really, there's no point in sending those emails. So the biggest thing is making sure that you're able to provide value somehow to these consumers, and making sure that you're not just trying to sell them all the time via email. That's the really great part. Email is really more for building a relationship. It will help with conversion and increasing sales and revenue, but it's really great for building that relationship with them online and giving them a form of contact where they know to expect information from you, and they start to trust you, and they'll open your emails every time you send a valuable piece out to them. So let's keep going. How to create an email template. So basically, we will be using ActiveCampaign, or I'm going to use ActiveCampaign to show you how to create an email template. Other programs I've used a lot of them. They are very similar. I just recommend ActiveCampaign because, again, for automations, there isn't a competitor out there that can touch them. And automation is really what it's all about, right, guys? You don't want to be writing emails all day. So once you're logged into ActiveCampaign, basically you're just going to go ahead and click the Campaigns tab at the top. Once you're in the Campaigns tab, there's a little Manage Templates button on the top left-hand corner. You'll click that, and that's where you'll actually click New Template, or view your templates or manage your templates. Just wanted to put that point in there because that took me a good little bit to find my templates once I had them created. They have them kind of hidden, but just really quickly, that's how you guys will find them. And again, I'm going to go through ActiveCampaign so you can watch me do this. So how to create an email template continued. Basically, when adding the template, you can choose the type of template that fits your needs most. So on the screen, you can see we have newsletter, right column, left column, custom HTML. Don't worry about custom HTML much. You guys aren't going to be working with that. But the left column, right column, newsletter, those are the ones you're going to be working in. So right column, left column are more for if you're selling products, or if you're working with an e-commerce store or a retail location, something like that. I don't know. Here's just my quick tips for you guys on creating an email, okay? Some things you want to keep in mind. You don't want too many photos. You don't want too many videos. You don't want a lot of salesy words or like click here, buy now, check out the deal, blah, blah, blah. You don't want a lot of that. You can use some. I'm not saying you can't, but the more of that you use, the more likely you're going to end up in a spam filter or outside of the primary inbox. Why is it so important to get in the primary inbox? Basically, the primary inbox is, number one, it's the notification box. So if you get an email in your primary inbox and you have a Gmail account, it notifies you usually on your phone. if you have it set up on your phone. And that's what you want. You want people to get as many notifications and free notifications as possible, because that's what it is. It's a free push pin, basically, to notify them and let them know, hey, so-and-so. It's a free push pin or notification to let them know, hey, this person sent you this, and it catches their attention. So that's why it's so important. Not to mention, most people check their primary. They don't check their promotions or updates or social media folder. To be honest, I think the only reason Google did that was was literally to make their email hosting software better, because I mean, that's literally what it does. It cleans up your inbox so you see the important stuff that actually matters to you. I don't care when someone notifies me on Facebook. I don't need an email for that. You get what I'm saying? So those are just some quick things to keep in mind. So when choosing a template, you can choose any of those that fit the best. Just when naming it, make sure to be descriptive and unique. So when you actually name, you can see up here, enter your template name. This isn't going to be what shows up to a customer or anything like that. It's internal. So you want to be as specific as possible. If it's related to a specific ad campaign, a specific automation, a specific topic, you want to include that in the actual title, because it's going to help you with segmenting and labeling, not segmenting, but labeling and utilizing these campaigns later in automations, because you'll see what I mean. If you name a campaign something unspecific and then you get into the automation later and you're trying to find the email that you want to plug in a specific spot, you won't be able to find it. So be very specific with your emails. They don't need to be super long and have a 4-sentence description. Just be very specific about what the email is going to go into and what the email is being dispersed on. So whether it's an automation or just a one-time campaign, right? How to create an email template continued again. Once you've selected your template type, you can build out your email template. There are tons of options for pictures, formatting, etc. However, again, I'm just going to make this clear. Going overboard on an email is not recommended. Keeping it simple makes it easy to create templates and just get your point across. And the last point is, too many images and videos could, factor into your emails getting sent to the junk folder, to the spam folder, or to the primary folder, or not primary, sorry, the uploads folder or the promotional folder. You don't want them to end up there. And so, that's why there's a couple strategies to this, okay? And number one, you guys, if you've seen my emails at all, you see that we don't put any images, we don't put any video in there. We'll put links to videos, stuff like that. Why do we do it like that? When domain providers or when email providers actually, when you send an email, or when a business sends an email, when a person sends an email, the email provider actually does a crawl of that email, and it scopes out the email and looks for keywords like buy now, purchase this, deal of the day, all of that stuff. It looks when people use it too much, because that's the thing. It wants it to be like you're talking to a friend. It wants it to be where if two friends are talking, you'll end up in the primary inbox. But if a business tries to talk to you and they're just trying to sell you something, we're going to make sure he goes in the promotional folder, because that's what that is, right? Well, the best way to make your business email seem like a friendly email or not a promotional email, don't put a ton of pictures and videos, because just psychologically, how many times do you email someone a picture or video? Hardly ever. You text it to them, you send it to them on Facebook or something like that, right? So Google knows this, and they built that into their algorithm. So just keep that in mind when you're building out email templates. You don't want a ton of picture. You can use some. Again, you can use some. It is okay to use some, especially like for clothing stores. You guys want to, like if you have a boutique that you work for or manage, you want to put images in there that like you're selling their products, right? Anything that's product-based, food industry, they have got to use images to make their food stand out, their location stand out. So you can use images, just again, be sparing, don't use a ton. And if you do use emails, you're going to want to back off on some of the other things in the email, like links or your sales words, stuff like that. You'll pull back on some of those and not use those as frequently when you use images and stuff, because you're really just trying to get customers to look at stuff. And again, don't let that make you think, or don't think that just because I'm telling you, it can trigger you to go to the spam folder that you can't use it. I still have emails where I send out $50 off in an email, promo code in an email. They still go through, they're just less likely, and they're even more less likely to do it than, or when you enter in a ton more of those types of keywords. Does that make sense? So I hope that clears that up. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, and then you'll see this little cog. Let me move this you'll see this little cog right here, but you guys can click that to actually test your email. And again, I'll show you guys how to do that when we get into ActiveCampaign. All right, so also the settings are important, and this is where you'll actually want to confirm a few things about the email or the campaign you're about to run. I usually do this, so once we set up a template, we always do a test on it to make sure that it's not going to go to spam folder, that it doesn't have any flags, anything like that. You want to do this for all of your emails that you prepare. So whether you have your VA do that or whether you do that yourself, you need to make sure that they're, number one, going to pass the spam filter check. So that's what we're going to talk about here, which basically, it gives you a score. It's based on points, and the spam check actually looks through your email, all of the copy, everything like that, and says whether it's likely to end up in a spam folder or not. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to tell you whether it's going to end up in a promotional folder or an updates folder in Gmail, but it will keep it out of spam, okay, which that is the ultimate goal. The best case scenario you get in the inbox, though, so that's, some of the tips we're going to teach you, but this will help you keep it out of the spam folder. All right, so you're going to want to send a test email and make sure it lands in the primary inbox. A few tweaks to your email can fix this if it doesn't land there, so it can be things like taking out pictures, taking out videos, changing the subject line, looking at some of the content inside the email and making sure there aren't a ton of salesy words or stuff like that, right? So that we will, again, go over in ActiveCampaign in just a minute. Sorry, I got sniffles. It's allergy season again. When actually creating your email, there are a few things, or are some things you want to also keep in mind. When coming up with a subject line, so this is about subject lines, you want to be direct about what is in the actual email. Use time sensitivity, things like scarcity, or some other type of subject that will grab their attention. Again, be bold. I usually, and this is something I always keep in mind, ask a bold question or make a bold statement. So what, if you're selling, like, say, a dog harness, right, and it's a dog harness for dogs, it goes over their chest so you can walk them, a good bold statement for an email would be like, do you really love your dog? Or are you like a lot of others, or do you actually love your dog? Do you see why that is? Because if someone's an actual dog lover, they're like, well, who are you to question whether I love my dog? It's not going to make them mad, but it is going to get them to open the email and see what you're talking about inside that email. So those are things that you want to do, but you're making a bold statement. So something we do is kind of, it's like final offer or last chance. We'll do that in asterisks. Like, we'll put an asterisk, last chance, another asterisk right there. And then we'll say, like, don't miss this promotion in the email. And that's super crucial to getting people to open, because they relate to it, especially if you're going through a whole series and say I've already sent them 2 offers to sign up for something already at a discount. Well, now I'm sending them this last one that's like a final offer, and the subject line even says in it, final offer, for them to get this. And it's like we usually do a higher discount on the last email. So you build the discounts as well. Start off smaller, build to larger ones, because you don't always want to just give away the course at the highest or at the biggest discount first, right? Or not course, but product or service, right? So just keep those things in mind. Also, try to keep your subject line under 50 characters. Why do I want to do that? The most important reason is because most people open their email on their phone. Unless it's about Monday morning from 8 to about 11 o'clock in the morning, they're usually checking it on their phone. And especially if it's a personal email. Now, if it's business related, this is a little different. So if you're working B2B, you want to keep in mind business hours. That'll be important. But if you're working with like personal products, household goods, stuff like that, or products and services that are for like anything other than business, really, you want to keep in mind the fact that most of them will be opening on their phone. So if you keep it under 50 characters, they'll be able to see the point of that message. So keep it simple. Again, pretend like you're writing to a friend. Ask yourself, would you open this email, or what would draw your attention to this email? What's important about the email? What's really valuable about it, right? You can add pictures and video again, but just don't go over the top. We don't do a lot of pictures and photo because of the industry we're in. Ours is very technical. So you don't really need a lot of photos. There's not a lot of photos that go with this kind of stuff. Like, you can do computers and stuff like that, but I would just rather leave that out and have a higher chance of getting in the primary inbox, because the more primary inboxes I get, the more opens I get. The more I get that, the better I look to email providers. And so the more likely I am to always show up in the inbox instead of a spam folder. no matter who it may be. Again, they keep tabs on your domain, and they make sure, okay, well, this person isn't just sending out spam emails that never. So when people don't open your emails, when they don't click on links, when they unsubscribe, when the emails bounce, this all affects your email domain rating negatively. So you want to always be removing unsubscribed emails, bounced emails. You want to remove those from your list. You want to make sure that people aren't just clicking through your email and quickly getting out of the email without actually reading the content. And then first and foremost, opening it. If they're not opening it, they're not looking at anything you're sending, so you're not getting anything done. So those are just, again, some things to keep in mind. All right, and make sure to watch out for these spam triggers. Use this for subject lines too. Use excessive use of all caps, exclamation marks, words like free, click, or percent off. All of those are like salesy type words, right? So you just want to be careful of that. So, and just real quick, if you need more help with this, there's actually a link right in the bottom of this document where you can look at a whole article on email spam trigger words that you want to avoid using excessively. Again, keyword there being excessively. All right. Subject line. Creating a good subject line is important when building your email. Ask a loaded question, or again, make a bold statement. You want something that will catch your audience's attention and also let them know what you're providing. You can be funny, cunning, just make sure to be respectful. Don't be pushy or too aggressive or salesy. Some people have tried this. I actually got I got an email the other day from a guy, and the subject line was, "You suck at Facebook ads." So that's a little controversial, and it could definitely make some people open it. But, I haven't tested it myself too much. I like to go with the positive vibes. I don't go the other way too much. I might try testing that out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes, I guess. But if you guys have some experience with using that type of email subject line, get in touch with me and let me know how your results went. Using a number helps your subject line stick out as well. So like doing something like step 1 or 1 out of 10 if you're doing like an email series, that lets people know what to expect, right? That's the point with email subject lines. So if you're giving a value offer like a document or a download, something like that, tell them straight up what you're giving them. Hey, this is a guide to make $1 million today. Like, if that's what you're giving them, obviously that's not something you ever want to sell or send somebody. They're never going to open that. But if that, is what you're sending, make sure to say that in the subject line, or be cunning about the way you say what you're giving them. Let them know what they will benefit from if they open the email. So if you're creating an article on how to organize your life, tell them something like, "Get your life in order today," something like that. Change it up. Try different methods with different people. You can always split test emails just like you split test ads or anything else. And then try to keep your subject, again, just keep it under 50 characters. That's going to help you show up on mobile, so that way you can get more opens. Good versus bad subject lines. So just some quick examples. High converting subject, some examples of high converting subject lines. Any luck with accomplishing, and then the goal that you had. So if you're say in the first email you send, say for us, we send the digital marketing audit in the first email, right? So we send that, and the goal of the digital marketing audit email is to help them land a client, right? So then we would send maybe a follow-up email saying, "Hey, any luck with accomplishing any luck with using the digital marketing audit template to land a client?" And then the next email would have some more content relating to how they can land a client, right? 5 proven ways to increase web traffic to your site. Step 4, start landing clients for your agency. And one thing that didn't get done, you always want to do capitals on your key or important words. Ted knows this. He was probably just rushing when creating the document, but basically, yeah, these need to be capitalized, the important words. 4 is not an important word, right? But you can see step 4, it's like, you can see this is probably part of a step-by-step series of emails that they're sending out. This is something that I've actually tested and has worked pretty well. You guys might have actually seen this come in on yours, because a lot of advertisers are trying this out now, but you do the RE and then the little colon, and then you do the title of the previous email or something like that. Or you do just another catchy, or like, sorry, we missed our conversation yesterday, or something like that. Like you're responding to a previous email that you sent them or something like that. But these are actually very effective because of this little thing right here. It makes you think, oh, this person's responding. You're used to seeing that and someone's replying to you, right? So that's why it's actually kind of funny how useful it is and how effective it is. And then low converting subject lines, so like buy now, do it now, just checking in, meeting request, deal of the week, anything that seems like I'm trying to sell you something, that's what's usually going to be. So what to put in your email. You want to address the user by their name. So Jordan or Mr. Jordan Steen would work, depending on who you're talking to. And again, that's the best part about using this software, using ActiveCampaign. I'll show you again when we go into ActiveCampaign, but you can just easily enter that into the email. You want to make sure that your subject line aligns with the body. So example, if your subject line is 5 ways to lose weight, make sure you have those 5 ways to lose weight in your body or in a link to a blog that provides those 5 ways to lose weight. When writing the body, make sure that it aligns with the type of email that you're sending. So if it's a email, newsletter, or blog, a digest, or something informational, if it's dedicated, or if it's an offer, lead nurturing, if it's sponsorship of something, or transactional type email. So transactional emails are like if someone purchases something, that little purchase receipt or purchase confirmation email that sends automatically, that's a transactional email. It happens when somebody does or performs a transaction of some sort with your business online via purchase or something like that. So those are just some quick things of what to actually put in your email. And again, we're going to go into an example really quickly in a minute. And then last little bit for this is going to be campaign versus automation. So and it's important to know the difference, right? So a campaign is just a one-time send-off. Usually you're sending it to a group of people at one instance. And automation is a list of emails that is going to go out to a list of contacts over a period of time, and it's based off of logic. So it's based off of, things like whether they've opened an email or not, whether they've went to a specific web page or not, whether they've, what else? There's all kinds of, we'll go into it in the email in a second, but there's all kinds of ways that you can build these out, and I'll show you when we get into practice building a template, or when we actually build the automation. Those videos will be coming next. We'll show you how to build that out in the actual automations, or what we're talking about there. So it's important to know when to run an ad campaign in automation. We'll just quickly read through this. A campaign is usually used when there's one email sent at a time in that series. There is no logic flow behind it. So newsletters, if you're sending out your blog, or promos, etc. So promo, like a fall promotion, you just want to do a one-time giveaway for something, or like a New Year's holiday promotion. You can do a New Year's Day email promo, something like that, right? And automation is basically just a bunch of campaigns placed on top of a logic flow. So an automation is used when you want to send out a series of emails which can be altered based on the email contact's actions. This can be used for existing or new contacts. It doesn't really matter which. New contacts always come in and usually go through some sort of automation. Existing contacts, you're going to want to sit. So once they finish the first automation, you don't just want to stop sending them content, right? What if they didn't purchase? Doesn't mean they don't want to purchase. It doesn't mean that they're not ever going to purchase. They were obviously interested for some reason, right? So now all you want to do is you want to kick them off into another automation, get them into more content, get them more involved with your business. So that's basically the overall structure, or overall just guideline information. Now let's go ahead and take a look into ActiveCampaign. You can see we're actually in our automations right here. I'm going to show you a couple of our emails that we use. So I'll show you how this works. And you can see welcome starting a six-figure business series. That's the name of this automation series. All right, so this is our welcome, and you can see we do one image. This is basically the only time we do an image. Is in the welcome email. Every other time we're basically just sending text and links. So what's up, first name, and you can see right here, this is what I was talking about with making it personal. Now I can just easily go in and it will automatically add everybody's first name for me. And you can see, we'll read through this really quick. Thanks again for signing up and welcome to the Digital Marketing School's Starting a Six-Figure Business online mini course. So they get this email when they subscribe to an email list via a funnel that I have set up. So I have ads running for building six-figure businesses that lead them to a ClickFunnels page or a landing page that says, it's got a video on it on how to start a six-figure business online. Just enter your email below and we'll send you documentation. Then they do that. They get in this automation series from the ClickFunnels page. It automatically inserts them into this email series when they come from building a six-figure business funnel, right? So that's what's cool about all this. I know what kind of information they're interested in already, and I'm tagging them up front. So like these links right here, you can actually just add a tag to a link. So when someone clicks this link in the automation itself, or you can do it right here. So like link, you can actually add an action, add a tag, and say they came from Facebook. You would just put, or not Facebook, but if that's actually the link for my school. So you would do pixel hit. So that's what we track when someone goes to our website. We want to know that they hit our pixel. So boom. You can see right there, and you can see these are all kinds of different pixels we have. We're actually working on kind of getting them all into one because they don't really matter when, as long as they hit the pixel. That's all we found out we care about. So that's what you're going to want to look for right there, is just, you know, adding tags, making sure that people are getting segmented. We do a tag for every single link that has the ability to be clicked. Images too, because look, I can add in right here, link. You should link all of your images to your website, something like that, something relevant. But, all right, so let's just get back into the email. So over the next few weeks, I'll be sending tons of my secret strategies and tips that have helped make myself and several others an owner of successful digital marketing agencies, online businesses, blog, vlog channels, e-commerce stores, and much more. You know, like the work from home, your condo, on the beach, or as you travel Europe type of deal. I'll also send a couple Easter eggs that I know you'll enjoy, so make sure to pay attention. Seriously, if you've seen my YouTube channel or blog, then you know I'm all about providing value to my students and viewers. I totally understand what it's like to start with hardly any money to your name, and that's why I've made it my mission to help entrepreneurs like you attain the real American dream. If you're seriously sick, or if you're absolutely sick of getting up every day and driving to your 9-to-5 job, that boss that doesn't give you the recognition or pay that you probably deserve, or you really just want to take control of your time, of the time in your life, then you're in the right place. The digital marketing e-commerce industry is booming right now, and it's not too late for you to get a piece. If you are just getting started with us, you should check out the following. For even more fresh to death content. Serial Entrepreneur's YouTube channel with tons of free content. Looking to get in touch with us, you can reach us at Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram. And you can see it's very to the point. It's just, you know, you don't see a ton of me trying to sell people. We direct them to places where they can buy stuff, but we don't say, go buy this. We give them reasons why they should go there, right? And you can see, again, very low images. We do a few links in this email because we know they're more than likely going to be looking for it. And then we just finish it off with a signature. So you can add all of these over here. This is the cool thing. So this is how you customize stuff. If you wanted to add a video in, like you can add an HTML block right there, and then you could like embed a YouTube video in it if you wanted. Obviously, again, I don't recommend doing this stuff. You could also add it right here. There's tons of ways to do this and to customize it and make it look pretty. Again, I just don't focus on looking pretty. It's not something that's important for my type of email. And again, all this stuff up here to change colors. You want the colors to be related to the business. It needs to be at the very least that. So if you use any colors, it needs to be related to the business. So once you actually get this written up, this is like if you're creating the template. This is what the template builder looks like. So once you actually, create the template, all you're going to do is you're going to click next, like we mentioned, or you could click that settings. I just click next. And ActiveCampaign can be a little slow sometimes. That's the only downside, is their backend or their hosting service. That's what it is. That's what I was looking for. Their hosting service is pretty slow, so I'm hoping they're going to get faster servers here pretty soon. So it takes you to the next page though, and this is the campaign summary, and where you get to set the subject line. So you can see we're just very straight to the point. Welcome to starting a 6-figure business series. What's going to be in the series, and then the welcome. That's basically it. And we'll go through another quick email to show you something a little different than a welcome email in a second. This is the message name. Again, it always usually will tell you when a customer will see it. They aren't going to see this type of stuff. You always have to have the address set up. If you're marketing emails, that's super important. Another cool thing is you can track emails. You can do link tracking for custom links, and then you can set up your Google Analytics, name a campaign, and then you can actually go view the analytics on it in Google when they send. So that's something really cool. And then here's your test area. So right now our spam check passed. It will tell you points of interest down below if you messed up or what you need to change. And then what I recommend, this is actually the email that it's sending from. Don't don't use the email that it's normally sending from, because you're literally just sending an email to yourself. Find or create an email account that is completely unrelated, that you can just send random emails to that have nothing to do with something you've even subscribed for, to see if and check if it's going to show up in the primary inbox. Because that's the thing. This just checks for spam. It doesn't check to see if it's going to show up in the primary inbox. So once you have all of this set, everything's good to go here. You're just going to click finish, and that's it. So then we're back on our funnel, or on our automation. And again, we're going to go into building the automations later. This is all about creating the email template, or the actual email content itself. Just some points and tips on doing that part of it. And one thing I want you guys to mention, sorry for the noise, my desk has got this thing on it, but one thing I want you guys to understand is this same theory applies to working with businesses. So when you're sending audits, when you're working with, or when you're trying to run an email campaign for your own digital marketing agency, you use these same theories. So it's one thing I want you guys to understand. The theory is the same no matter what industry, no matter what niche, no matter what business. You just have to build it to match the most effective methods for your industry. So my industry does very little image and video in emails. Food industry does more images and video in their emails. So keep those things in mind. Do the research on it. And again, one thing I recommend is going and subscribing to the email list that are already doing well, that are professional. So like if you have a restaurant niche, go find a very popular restaurant that has several locations. It's a huge chain and they have a good active email list. Or they send out regular email content. That could be something, or that is something you want to do. So let's look at something other than a welcome email. And you can see this is kind of like the automation stuff. Ted's going to go over all of this, or Ted and I are going to go over all this. You can see our tags here. That's why I love this. You build out this whole automation. Let me just kind of give you oh crap. I don't know if I can click it because my pause button's right there. I can't click it because my screencast is actually in there, but we'll show you guys on the automations video. Anyways, let me find another email. There we go. Alright, so here's our value 1 template. You can see this is the title of this, and this is why it's important, because you need to be able to segment these out versus all of the other emails in the campaigns. So value 1, that's what V1 stands for. PO means promotional offer. You might see that on some of the emails we have in here. But so value 1, template to build a 6-figure business. So that's what we told them we were going to send them in the ClickFunnels, in the ad messaging on Facebook. So that's what we want our next email to be after the welcome. Does that make sense to you guys? We're following the messaging. All right, so let's take a look at what this looks like. All right, so as I mentioned before, no image. So hey, first name. Before you start checking out the template to building a 6-figure business, you should understand the following. Number 1, the best results from this template come from when you have a plan in place and utilize all 3 methods to build a cash flow business, a personal brand, and an educational platform. But this doesn't mean you couldn't make a comfortable income using only one. Number 2, if you don't have a complete understanding of how to use SWEPS and digital marketing in general, your online business will struggle. It takes a little more than just posting to Craigslist or random groups on Facebook. And I swear, if you're running Facebook boost post ads, I'll find you and kick your door in. So you can see we're being a little fun. We're having a little fun with them. If you don't understand social media and digital marketing, then I recommend doing as much research and education as possible. Seriously, even if you don't ever plan to look at my course and you only want to go the free info route, then understand that the less you understand, the less likely you are to have success. It really is about having the best understanding of digital marketing as possible, due to the fact that it changes almost every day. Staying involved in continuing your education and recent changes in the trends in the industry will ensure that you're one of the best in the game, and that your bank account will be the proof. And your bank account will be the proof of that. Here's your copy to the template, so we give them the copy straight up. Make sure that's usually separated out. You don't want it like in the middle of a paragraph or something like that. If you decide that you want, that you like what you saw in this template and want even more, you can just head on over to the Digital Marketing School to begin your journey. You notice there we didn't say to purchase our course or something like that. Check out, and then lastly, check out my social media pages for more free information and get in touch. And then we just provided those links. That's it. So you can see our content's engaging, it's funny, it provides value here in a template. There's tons of reasons why this email is getting opened. Tons of good stuff here. Alright, so we'll go and look at the other stuff really quickly. Okay, so here's the last little part, the subject. So we have step 1 of 5, template to building a 6-figure business in under a year. This is, again, important because it's telling them we've got 5 more emails to tell you what we're going, or to teach you, or that are going to be free, that are going to teach you how to build a 6-figure business in under a year. Keeps them engaged. All right, and then we have our message name, which is basically our title of that email campaign. We have it tracking all set up. We do a test and make sure it passes the spam filter. And that's it. You're done with the email. So that's really it, guys. Other than that, we'll go through, I'll show you just a quick, like those are automations, right? So those are templates that you can build for your automations, or the way you'll want to build out your templates for automations. And when ActiveCampaign catches up with this century on internet speed, or on hosting speed, we'll be able to show you those. Okay, so here's like a quick example of some of the just like campaign emails we send. So this is for a blog. Let me see if I can get to the actual email. There we go. Okay. Sorry. I always forget this little thing is over here. I'm used to working here. Oops. All right. So here's an example, and again, this is what we kind of put together when we send out a blog article or something like that. So, hey, SEO or search engine optimization is a process that is focused on becoming more visible or organic on non-paid search engine results. This is an extremely important part of setting up and maintaining a website. Whether you own your own website or you're working as a marketing professional in a company, you will need to know the basics of search engine optimization if you want to do effective digital marketing. However, if you are not familiar with SEO, then it might be a good idea to check out our Beginner's Guide to SEO with our link. And I guarantee you there's a tag on that link that says they visited our YouTube channel. This guide will help you get on the right track to learning and understanding the basics of SEO, so make sure to check it out. If you have more questions about SEO or SMMA, then make sure to join our Facebook group for social media marketing and digital marketing agency owners. This is an open group meant to stimulate critical thinking, conversation, and growth for anyone interested in digital marketing or social media marketing. Feel free to post any questions or concerns you may have. P.S. Make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to stay tuned for more SEO blog posts every week over the next few months. PSS, check out our Beginner's Guide to SEO video here as well. Serial Entrepreneur, Jordan Steen. And that's it. You can just see, I mean, it's super easy stuff. Like, nothing about this was difficult. Nothing, it was to the point. We gave them value. We gave them some extra bonus stuff, so to join some of our other channels so we can keep them engaged. And then we also showed them the video. So this is actually, that's right, this is the blog article post. So this link is saying they visited our website, so it's probably a pixel. This right here is actually probably tagged saying they visited our YouTube. And then this would be tagged saying they visited a Facebook page of ours. But you can see that now we know where these people are going, what platforms they're engaging with. So when we segment an email list, I can maybe build out an email campaign and only send it to people who have engaged with all of our social media pages. Why would we do that? Well, we know they're more likely to open that email and more likely to purchase something because they're engaging with all of our social media platforms. If they're not interested in us, they're not going to go look up every single page we have and visit it, right? So that's why all of this segmentation, building lists, building the content out, and planning the content, that's why it's so important. So that's basically it for building valuable emails. Again, just remember, be straight to the point. Don't be too salesy in your email. Try to think of it like you're writing to a friend. The more you can make it look like a friendly email as opposed to a business email, the more likely you'll get opens, the more likely you'll have conversions, and the more likely you will have better results with your email marketing campaigns. So that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you guys in the building and automation email. It's a 2-part series you guys are really going to love. All right, guys, I'll talk to y'all soon. Serial Entrepreneur out.